Obviously, just really proud of our guys and a huge win against a really good Maryland team. And just really, really proud of our defense in that second half. We had talked about halftime about being the more disciplined team. And I'm like, guys, our defense and our rebound is going to win this game for us. And just our guys did it. They sat down. They really guarded. I mean, we needed how many stops at the end to pull this one out. But I come back to always saying we hang our hat on our defense. When you defend and rebound, you'll be in a position to win games, and you'll be in a position to win big-time games. To hold a team like this to 70 points, you know, they're the top scoring teams in the country. So, and every single one of these guys stepped up, just made some big-time plays throughout the game. Thought everyone that played was locked in and ready to go, and just a great team win, again, against a top 10 team. We talked about having the opportunity and not taking these opportunities for granted, and these guys did that today.
Questions for our student athletes? Go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll get you a microphone.
Early on, Berry, it looked like while everyone else was trying to settle in, you were locked in from the very beginning, getting to your spots, getting to your shots. Is that something that you felt the need to take upon yourself to carry your team in terms of just poise through the early part of the game today?
Yeah, I think just knowing that we had to come out with a super strong start, because in the Big Ten you can't get down early. You know, teams are always going to be prepared to go against us. But yeah, I think I was just taking what the defense was giving me, and whether that was like shooting or driving. But yeah, I think we all did a great job out there.
Question for you, Gretchen. Maryland, they play a style that they want to kind of just get people to kind of out of sync, kind of play faster than they want to. How do you feel you guys did in kind of handling that zone that they like to run?
Yeah, I feel like we settled into it. We knew coming in that they're like a great defensive team and that they're physical, and they want to take you out of like the stuff that you want to get to. So I think an emphasis for us was just executing on offense, and still getting what we want even with their pressure. So.
As for Berry and Ciara, what's this one mean for you guys to have a top 10 win at home, and how much validation does it give you, if any, for kind of what you've been doing all offseason in the first non-conference schedule?
I think it means a lot. It was a great win for the team. I think it's just cool to experience this together and get to see like all of our hard work finally paying off and just allowing us to get a great team win. But I think we're just be ready to come back for the next one.
Cece, did you have to draw a certain number of charges to earn the party hat, or how did you end up with the party hat today?
I was the last in the dance circle, so that's how I got the hat. But for the charges, I mean, I guess I was just in the right place, right time.
Yeah, what did you think about the other one? When we were watching the replay on the one where you're called for an offensive foul, it looked like excellent positioning, and again, is that something that you've worked on extensively since you've been here? It doesn't necessarily strike me as something that would have been a part of like your program before you made it to Illinois.
I mean, in high school, I feel like I did take charges, but I mean, I think it's a big emphasis. Like, if you're in the right position, take a charge. I think that's something that Jazz does really, really well. I mean, she averages like a charge a game probably. So I think I just take that from her, and just if I'm in the right position, then that's going to be a foul on the other team and advantage us.
I think you beat her today. You had more than she had. That's good.
Yes.
Gretchen, just with, I mean, Cece and Destiny playing so many minutes for you guys, and what's just allowed you guys to have the poise that you've had as a team and to be able to execute and win such a big game against Maryland?
Yeah, I think it's just like our preparation, you know, our 2 days of prep and practice, we were all locked in and we're following the scouting report to what the coaches are giving us. And regarding C and Destiny, I've said this before, but you would never know that they're freshmen out there and starting for us. You know, like they just do so much for our team. So I'm just proud of the poise that they bring as a freshman.
Question for you, Berry. Gretchen's drives, how she gets to the rim and just, you know, make some unbelievable plays. Do those surprise you at this point?
No, I mean, they don't surprise me anymore. I've seen her play so much and just know that she's such a great player. I mean, anytime she gets the ball, I'm expecting that she's going to score and know that she's always going to make big plays for us. So I think it's been really cool to get to play together this year and just watch her to continue to thrive.
This could be really for any of y'all, but there's a point in the fourth quarter where it was multiple pick and rolls or pick and pops at the top with CC and DJ, and that just was really incredible poise for folks who have not been playing college basketball for hardly a semester. What's it like to be on the floor with folks who have been in the locker room for less than a year who are already adding that value to your team?
I think
You got it.
I think it just fuels us even more out there, especially both of them made some really big plays for us, and them being able to step up on defense too and just help us guard out there. I feel like they did a great job with that, but especially when they make those big plays, I feel like the rest of us, it just fuels us even more and gets us even more connected. So I think it's been really fun to get to play with them.
For CC and Berry, the last inbounds, a couple of the inbounds you guys ended up with turnovers on for them. Was that something you had seen in scout coming in? Was it an adjustment that you made throughout the game? Like, how did you get three? I think it was like 3 straight steals.
I think definitely both. I mean, we prepared at a high level, and I think we did a great job, especially from the bench to them calling out what their different actions were going to be and just talking to us while we're out there on the floor. And just sticking to our principles too. We guard everything the same, and we know how we need to guard them in order to get stops. So I don't think it was anything special. I think it was just us sticking to our regular defensive principles.
CC, just defensively, what you guys are able to do to lock in on a really good offensive team, just what does that do in terms of feeding you and the way you were able in the second half to really shut them down?
Yeah, I mean, defense should always you should always rely on defense for offense. So, I mean, they have really good players over there. So just keeping the ball in front was really major emphasis. Sometimes they hit a tough bucket, but that's okay. They're going to hit tough buckets. So just keeping the ball in front, making them hit uncomfortable shots. I think that was the main key.
Gretchen, you mentioned the defensive prep over the last 2-3 days for Maryland. Did you guys think you could create 18 turnovers, and was that going to be a key for you guys to be able to get extra possessions against this team today?
Yeah, I think we always will take the extra possessions where we get them, but we're not always focused on turning them over. It's always just our principle of our positioning, and I think we did a great job of that. And I think we turn teams over with just our positioning. It's not really our style to get up in passing lanes and going for all these steals. So I think it just happens naturally.
Gretchen, what can this do, and I guess combined with even the win against Indiana, for you guys from a confidence standpoint as you go into a pretty tough stretch of Big Ten play here?
Yeah, it means a lot. I think, we're off to the start that we wanted and that we've prepped for, but we know how hard the Big Ten is, and each team is, it's such a gauntlet of a league, so we have to be prepared for each team. So, it's a great win, but, it's on to the next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, you guys.
Yes. Shauna, did you get any Iowa 2023 vibes just in terms of early in the same day, obviously, right? But early in the schedule, a team still kind of newish in different ways. Is there any similarities there?
I didn't think about that until even just talking with TV this morning, and they asked kind of about what are some of the monumental wins here. And I always go back to the Iowa game, right? And I'm super superstitious. So I'm like, oh, well, we had a good game, how many years ago against Iowa when we were kind of unknown still and hadn't had that big win. So I was trying anything to give me some confidence. But it is, and this was kind of the same feel in terms of, I think this was that win that we needed because we haven't had a quad one opportunity yet. So that was a big win in terms of obviously our goal of trying to get to the NCAA tournament. And now we have a lot of them back to back to back. So, but no, I think this team, we needed one of these. And I kept stressing to them hey, we have this opportunity and, no pressure's on us. All the pressure's on them. So let's just come out here and play our game. And I thought they did that.
Shauna, what was the key for the Maryland prep? Because it just seems like Brenda just out-athletes everybody, and their length just bothers everybody. But with Berry and CC, it just seemed like you had a good matchup for that all day long.
Poise and discipline. We always say the more fundamental, the more disciplined team, usually wins, and at least you're going to be in a position to win. And I talk all the time, are you in a position to win the last 5 minutes of the game? That's what we want. In this league, that's what you want. I thought I didn't think we played well the first half, and I told our team that at half. I'm like, guys, I don't think we played that great, and it's a 2-possession game. So I loved where we were at halftime. And then we come out and, again, ramp up our defense and kind of settle in and guard and hold them to 15 and 16. So, again, they got, just elite level players, and how their style is really hard. They come at you with waves of pressure. They come at you in the half court with waves of pressure. They're so damn long. It's just, they're huge. And then, they went pretty small tonight a lot. So then you have, we changed up matchups a million times, that, trying to put different people on Sailor, then Garzon. They ISO you, they drive you, they use their athleticism. And I thought at the end, we really were disciplined at the end. We didn't foul as much on their drives. Garzon, they were looking to post us, and we were there and help. So just really learned from some of those mistakes we made throughout the game and put into play in the fourth quarter.
Coach, CC's last couple of games has been getting to the foul line, I think double-digit attempts. Just what have you just seen from her mindset-wise in these moments?
Yeah, confidence and activity. When you play hard and with great effort and you're super active, good things are going to happen. And I've been harping on her, with all that stuff. And she got to the free throw line 10 times at Purdue and now 10 times here. She's flying around. She's flying in for rebounds. She's being aggressive down low with the ball. And then she made that big time 3 in our pick and pop, in a huge play. So just the activity level. And she's also had some really good practice days. And I think she's just playing with a great deal of confidence right now.
So I think it's fair to say that you handled their press probably better than any other team that has faced them all year long. How did you feel about the way that your team handled that particular aspect of it? Because early on, I even got a text from someone who covers Maryland who was saying they are doing better than anyone else on this. What did you see from your team?
I agree. We had a couple. We had the one where we got in the middle, and then the one where we picked the ball up right over half court and we got a turnover. But we only had 5 turnovers at half. And we have a ton of different press breaks. We went with the one the same time, and I thought our guards just did a really good job of breaking it. And that's where, this team, like I said to everyone in media and Big Ten, TV, I'm like, we hadn't seen this type of pressure. So I was excited to see how we were going to come out and handle it, because we have not seen anyone like this. And man, I was really, really proud of us in the first half. And then I thought that just carried over. And that's also with, Aaliyah coming in and Destiny being in a lot of foul trouble. Aaliyah, not a ton of practice time right now. And I thought, besides the one turnover, I thought she handled the press pretty well as all of our guards.
The one observation I had about tonight is earlier than normal, it seemed like you were sitting out on the sideline and you were you looked to be locked in. Maybe I'm seeing things, but what was this game like for you in terms of getting up for the intensity of it? And what does it mean for you personally to have an opportunity to compete at this level?
Yeah, that's what this is all about. It's why I came here. It's why I took this job and to play in the Big Ten and to compete against the best coaches in the country. And I've said this multiple times, growing up in Iowa, I've watched Brenda forever, and she's won everywhere she's been. And I've always just, watched her and respected her from afar about how she's built that program into, a top 25 every year, and won a national championship. So, I knew this was going to be an intense game, and I knew I also had to stay poised for our team coming into this, especially in some of those moments where we made some mistakes. So I was really intentional with that too, of trying to just, hey, next play. Our whole thing coming into this was confidence. And then, like I tell our team all the time, usually the team wins that makes the quicker and the most positive responses and what we call our R's. So, we had a bad play or a bad turnover. Hey, next play. And I thought our kids did a really good job of shifting their mind quickly, to be able to, okay, we missed that layup down the stretch. We missed some free throws. You can't worry about it. You can't hang your head. You got to go back and you got to guard. So, obviously, anytime this is our biggest win in terms of our time here in a top 10 win. So we just, and I think this team, we can continue to get better and better. But in this league, you can, just like last year, you lose 2 in a row, then we went on and won 8. You can't get too high or too low. You got to really stay centered. You got to utilize this win for momentum and confidence. But man, we got 2 ranked teams coming up, and then next like 4 days. That's why I don't look at the schedule. Like I really don't want to know what's ahead. I just worry about the moment, the day, and then okay, now we got Michigan State.
Coach, I just want to ask about your young guards and the way they approach this game, especially with that schedule coming up. The way Aaliyah was able to step in and handle the moments while Destiny was in foul trouble, and then Destiny handling that whole fourth quarter with 4 fouls and still being involved in defense. Can you just talk about how they handled the moments?
Yeah, that's on them. You know, they were incredibly poised and confident. And it's funny this year, like I'm not really that type of coach. If you have 2 fouls, like keep them out. Like we have the depth now. So I played Maddie with 3 and 2 in the first half. I played Destiny with 2 in the first half, and then she picked up a foul. So that was, I guess my philosophy is stupid, but you know. And then I'm like, go play. And Maddie with her foul trouble too, I'm like, just play defense. If you foul out, you foul out, because I trust our team. I trust our depth. But that's why this is a team sport. You never know. Every night it could be foul trouble. Someone can get hurt. Someone can be sick. And next woman up mindset. And I thought we were elite at that tonight.
Shauna, you've referenced poise just so many times. Just what's allowed this team to have that be such a key tenet of this team and have the success that you've had this season with that?
I think just they're confident people and confident players. Like they're big time players. Like and they believe in their game, and they've worked so hard on their game. So when you put all the work in and you put the preparation in, then you're a pretty confident basketball player. I there's no special like sprinkle dust that I just put on them and they're confident. That's them. I got to give our players a ton of the credit. They listen, they're coachable. They have been so bought in and so locked in our preparation. Since we've been back for Christmas, our practices have been, we practice Christmas night. And I was kind of scared. I've never had that in my 20-some years of coaching. And I'm like, oh, geez, they were sharp. They were ready. They came back completely recharged, focused. So credit to them for just, the focus and the discipline and the buy-in and being coachable. It's just, they're a great group. They're a fun group to coach.
I think you talked about sometimes younger players don't know what they don't know, but you also encourage them to kind of make. So what was the balance there of not knowing maybe what this was, but also you kind of reminding them of the opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, some of it is just facts, right? Like they're ranked 7th, like they're good. Like we know that, we respect them, and I always build people up, especially teams like this that are good. Like, hey, we're going to go out there and obviously we're going to beat them, because you can't go into a game thinking you're going to lose. But we got to do this, and this. And this is, if you do this is our game plan. And if you buy into that, then again, I think we'll be in a position to have an opportunity to win with the last battle, the last 5 minutes. I mean, that's as simple as it gets, really.
How did you and Kat want CC to approach Maryland, in the sense of, I felt like in your entire time here, they've just run constant bigs at KB, and how did you want her to prepare for that?
I think this goes kind of with the youth question. They don't know what they don't know, right? They've never been like KB. Like I'm talking to KB before the game and she's all fired up and, she's like, she's ready to go. I'm like, okay. Like, cause there was so much, just, they knew so much. So CC's coming into it as any other game. So I don't ever want to make the moment too big, too small. You want to just, hey, this is a great opportunity. This is what we got to do. CC, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do, so on and so forth. And then I kept telling them, just be us. That's my big thing with this team. Just be us. Do what we do. We defend, we rebound, we run, we're disciplined. Be us. And if that's good enough, it's good enough. If it's not, it's not. And play as hard as you possibly can. That's all I ever ask. Play with all out effort, play with great discipline, play together, play connected, and then the chips fall where they may.
Coach, Maryland came into this game as one of the highest scoring teams in the country. You guys held them to 70 points. What do you feel like the potential of this team is on defense and as a whole?
I think we can get much better because I don't think we did necessarily, especially the first half. I wasn't really happy with our overall. I thought we fouled too much. They shot 15 free throws in the first half. And I know this team averages 17 made free throws. We almost made the average in the first half. And that was with our discipline to get in a stance and make slides and keep the ball in front. We did that at a higher rate. And then they're going to make some of them. Like Saylor made some shots over us against great slides. You got to give her credit. You know, that's what pros do right there. So, but I think we can continue to sharpen up. We haven't put 40 minutes together yet of elite defense and also rebounding. They beat us. I know they're one of the best rebounding teams offensively in the country. They beat us 9 on the board. So we lost the rebound battle and we lost the paint battle. And we won the battle of the ball. But for us, when we lose those 2 battles, we don't usually win games. But we held them, and I know our big thing is holding under 70. We held them right at 70. And I know our winning percentage is really high when we hold teams 70, under 70.
Shauna, there was a stretch in the fourth quarter there where CC and Destiny had like 7 straight points, and then Destiny had the assist. Like, what would that tell you about your 2 freshmen in a close game against the number 7 team to be ready in those moments?
Yeah, they're ready, and I was ready. I believe in them with everything. I mean, I made the call for follow back to get, CC a 3-point shot because how they were guarding the ball screens. And I give her credit because she knocked it down, and then we went right back to it. And they're so concerned about Cece that then Destiny and Addie had 4 fouls. So Destiny made that layup. And again, they rose to the occasion. And I shouldn't say they rose to the occasion. They just are who they are. You know, you get an open 3, Cece's going to make that most time at the top of the key. Destiny gets an open layup and can get downhill. I have all the confidence in the world that they're going to make plays.
So talk about defensive scheme discipline, and another element of that is just clutch defense execution. Felt like they were stuck on 70 for several big plays, and it would just play after play. So you've talked about learning a lot about your team. What did you learn about their ability to execute on defense in the clutch today?
That was huge. I mean, I'm just like, I kept telling them in a couple of those timeouts, we need one stop. And I said, this is why we do all the drills that you hate. This is why we do a one-on-one closeout. This is why we do one-on-one live. This is why we worry about our footwork and all this stuff is why we break down all the time, because now you just go out there and do what we practice for how many months. But for us to be able to withstand that many possessions, and again, I got to rewatch it of how many it was without them scoring against that team. That's amazing. I'm so proud of their defensive effort, because you give Maryland that many opportunities, usually they're going to make you pay. And we just had some big time team defense, because there's a couple times we collapsed in the steal when we were in our help, just made big plays.